Hey peeps, I'm back. I know, already, right? Okay, so basically I got blown up with questions, so mainly from one person, so I gotta get all of this out of the way, so I'm gonna try and blow through it quick, but there's a lot of questions, so we'll see. As a request from me, if you're going to ask questions, could you do it, like, do three at most? Just choose which ones you like best, because this person had like 17, so I have 10 that I'll answer in video. I answered the rest in a message, so let's do this. The first 10 questions are from Shygirltobe, and here we go. Question 1. Do you think starting transition in your 30s is too old? The answer to this is no. Transition is not based off of that. It's meant to put you in a better state of mind. It changes the way you think. It makes you into who you want to be, and age isn't defined by that. But the fact of the matter is, results do vary based off of different things like age. Obviously, at a younger age, you get better results than at an older age, but that doesn't change the fact that it's not particularly just for that, and on top of that, a very big thing is being able to dress your age, instead of like, because most of the times people look weird because they don't dress their age, and I've seen a good few people in their 30s and 40s who turned out gorgeous just because they know what they're doing and what they're getting themselves into. So no, age really doesn't matter in that aspect. Question 2. Who are some of your trans role models? My biggest one was Minor Cubac on YouTube. Her name is Jordan, and she was a huge role model for me. I never got to talk to her, sadly, but she is the one whom inspired me to, like, be who I am, and on top of that, also make videos. Question 3. How can I meet people who are accepting of trans people? Most of the people around, they don't really even think of trans people. So, mainly, I guess you can think of it as people creating trans people, like trans-friendly people, rather. So, rather than thinking of it like, oh, I have to find somebody who's naturally this way, you just have to teach them about it, like, half the people I know have never thought twice about somebody who's changing genders, and then I taught them about it, and then I became their learning experience on that. And really, it's just how you present yourself. Like, if you're confident, if you're there, if you have the knowledge, if you are how you are and you are confident about it, then it will shine, and they will see it, they will feed off of that, and become what one would call an accepting person. So don't think of it as trying to find them, think of it as creating them, because nobody hates naturally, they learn hate. So, question 4. How do trans people stay in shape while transitioning? Like, do some go to gyms? And yes, they do. They are normal people. And I would highly recommend somebody to, like, work out while they are transitioning, because it makes things even more dangerous if you're unhealthy, such as risk of blood clots. So working out is good, just don't overdo it, otherwise your testosterone will pump up. Question 5. Am I still trans if I'm only able to live as a woman full-time, but not take hormones to transition? I'm not sure, actually. I believe being trans is more so along the lines of the transition itself, like to actually become a woman. But some would say that it's based off of merely only your mind. And, you know, if you are a girl, you are a girl, like, I could see that too. But if you were just dressing it, it would probably be more along the lines of a transvestite. Is the transvestite the crossdresser? I'm pretty sure. But I guess that's still trans in a way. It starts with trans. So, I don't know. Leave it up to your best judgment. Question 6. What are some good jobs and career paths that are trans friendly? If anyone out there knows this, like, tell me, because so far I'm pretty out of luck on that, so I don't know, sorry. Question 7. Does it help or not if I have man boobs? Man. Does it help or not if I have man boobs before I start transition? I thought I took that one off. Oops. I suppose it could help. But again, I suggest being healthy and losing weight is probably the best thing, but man boobies aren't the same as women boobies, seeing as one is just fat and the other is an organ with a special kind of fat. So it may help you out at first, but I really suggest you stay in shape. Question 8. How can I overcome the fear of having big shoulders, feet, and hands while transitioning? It's just kind of a fact. Like, everybody's got bigger things, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've met girls with bigger hands than me, and I have pretty big hands. I wear size 10 shoes, but I know girls out there with size 10 feet. Like, it's not really a big deal. I have pretty bold shoulders, and it just makes me look like I can kick someone's ass, like, but I can still be cute. Like, it's not really a big deal. Just go out there, do your thing, be who you are, and people will see that. It's not a big deal. Question 9. What happens if you start taking hormones but have to stop them for a period of time? This will cause you to revert, because you can actually do that. I would not recommend starting hormones if you're going to stop. Because if you stop, then you revert and you lose all that with all that money, and a lot of people become very, very depressed to go back. Like, personally, if I had to revert, I would kill myself. I could not go back to that existence. I couldn't go back to that state of mind. I couldn't do it. Frankly, like, I just can't. So, something to think about. Question 10. Is it awkward if transgender is aroused by a transgender? And no, because that's just life being attracted to people in the story. To me, personally, gender doesn't matter as long as I like you. So, no. Question 11 is, do you have any tips on how to grow your hair longer, faster? I hear showering with cold water and washing your hair with cold water will actually help stimulate that. Also, trimming the edges will also help stimulate growth. But overall, just like keeping your hair healthy, you know, like only washing it 2 or 3 times a week. when you do, wash it with cold water so the pores tighten up, and then when you come out, they loosen up, which helps allow growth. So yeah, just shower with cold water, keep it healthy, and trim it every once in a while. You know, you don't have to take off like an inch, just trim it a little and it will help growth a lot. Question, whatever, I don't even know what number 13. Why isn't there support groups that are most trans-friendly only? And there are trans support groups. You may want to look for them if you want them. But mostly people just go to the whole like LGBT thing. So I don't know. I don't see why you would only want one, you know, rather than a community of people. Though the LGBT doesn't really have anything to do with the T, seeing as T is rather than a person's identity, rather than their sexual orientation. But we're clustered in there anyway. Razorblades had a question, who is a close personal friend of mine, and it is, what is the one thing that has changed the most about you since you started taking hormones? And I would say my personality. Like, it changed a lot about the way I think, because that's what happens. It actually changes your mind to the fact where you are a different person. But then again, you aren't a different person, you know? Like, if you are a transgender and you're going through this process, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you haven't started hormones yet, like, it's really hard to comprehend how this works. But in the end, like, you become a very different person, but the same person at the same time. Basically, you'll see what I mean once you start. And then I have 2 more questions by a individual named Taylor, and that is, were you femme as a guy or hyper-masculine to hide your feelings? And the answer to this would be, I was very masculine, but it wasn't so much to hide my feelings, it was more to the fact that I didn't know. I had a lot of repressed memories. It seemed like whenever I would go to sleep, memories would just tuck away into my subconscious, and then when I would wake up, I wouldn't remember anymore. And the day that I realized is actually the day that these memories came back. So, yeah. I was masculine, but it wasn't because I was hiding anything. It was more so to the fact that something was wrong in my life and I didn't know what it was until they came back. When you transitioned, how did you learn to behave female? That is a very interesting question, but in actuality, most of my family is all women. Like, all my cousins, my mom, my sister, I have my dad, obviously, but, like, they're mostly all women, so I pretty much just know how that goes. And on top of that, it also, a lot of it just came really naturally to me. Like, I don't know, I guess there's a lot to being a woman that one wouldn't generally think about or notice. But, I don't know, it just came naturally to me pretty much, along with the fact that I am very observant. I see people, I watch everything they do, down to the very smallest thing they do, and how they sound and all that. And on top of that, I have a family that's pretty much all women, so yeah, that's how that goes. So, that is the last of the questions. And again, if you are going to ask questions, please make it 3 at most. Thank you. And then do it either in the comments or my inbox, and please inform me if you don't mind I use your name or not. So until the next video, I will see you all later, and have a fantastic day, night, or specific time you are watching this. See ya.